Hi, friends. My name is Courtney McSwain, and I am the founder of CM Storytelling. I'm coming to you live from my bedroom, where I know many of you are working from home, working from your kitchen tables, working from your bedroom, so we're all kind of used to this scene by now. But I wanted to come and introduce you to a new video series that I'm starting called Story Talk. Since we're all at home, I thought it would be a great opportunity to start a video series where I chat with creative and purpose driven entrepreneurs about the journey of entrepreneurship, but through a business communications and storytelling lens. Now, I truly believe in the power of storytelling to help build authentic relationships with your customers, your audiences, and your supporters. And I love talking with people about how they are faring on their entrepreneurship journey. So, Story Talk is a little bit of a combination of both of those things, where we're going to talk about entrepreneurship, but we're also going to focus in on ways that we can build powerful relationships with our audiences through authentic communications and really meaningful storytelling. And right now, we're in a season where we are all relying on communications to stay connected. We're relying on these online technologies to stay connected to our family members, our friends, and of course, our customers and clients and supporters. So over the next few episodes of Story Talk, we're going to focus in on that. And we're going to talk with some entrepreneurs about, first of all, how they're just faring in this environment of COVID-19 and staying at home and trying to stay safe and healthy, but also how they're using this time to adapt, to stay flexible, to create, to be innovative, and to try to continue to stay connected to their audiences and the lessons that they're learning that will last way beyond this pandemic. So that's going to be the next few episodes, or the first few episodes of Story Talk, and I really hope that you enjoy them. And I hope that it gives you some inspiration to think about ways that you can be adaptable in your business. I'm sure you are already, but if you haven't yet, thinking about ways that you can use this time to learn lessons that are going to last you far beyond when this pandemic is over. My first conversation is with Jasmine Beard. She is the founder and chief strategy consultant for AJOY Consulting. And she helps small businesses with their business strategy and development, as well as team building and facilitation and career and coaching services. So she does a lot to help small businesses really, connect the dots and level up their businesses. And right now she is using this time to connect the dots and level up her own business. And I think that's such a great story. And we had such a great conversation. So check out my story talk with Jasmine Beard of AJOY Consulting. Hi, Jasmine. Good morning.
Good morning, Courtney. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day and the sun is out. That's not canceled, so I'm enjoying it.
Right, exactly. It is. And the sun is actually helping us all kind of get some good mental health care. So that's great. Well, thank you so much for joining me this morning to talk a little bit about your business and surviving in this time that we're in. You are the founder and chief strategy consultant of AJOY Consulting. And
Yes.
so I just wanted to chat with you a little bit about how you are doing in this time of COVID-19 and stay at home, and some of the things that you're implementing, some of the lessons that you're learning, and just kind of trying to share, strategies and thoughts for everyone. We're all kind of in this space of trying to figure out how do we survive and maintain. So I thought I would just start by asking you first, how did you begin your journey as an entrepreneur?
Initially, ever since a child, I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. But over the years, even throughout college, I've always had some type of side hustle. So a lot of my friends nicknamed me Jamaican because regardless of what job I was working, I always a friend says, I remember my memories of you in college was always popping your trunk. You always had something to sell, whether it was perfumes, men's tank tops, or what have you. But my most recent journey to becoming back into the entrepreneurial world full time was I had a 5.5 year tenure in corporate or at Volvo Trucks. And so I got to the point where every year and a half, I was promoted 4 times in 5.5 years. And every year and a half or so, I was um, kind of feeling like, okay, now it's time for something new. It's time for something new. And just looking at, my track record there and the things that I was able to accomplish, I started feeling like, okay, I'm hitting a brick wall ever so often. So, and then I just felt like I wanted more flexibility and freedom. And then I started doing some self assessments. I did a lot of mentoring and coaching in corporate as well as outside of corporate. So I said, if you can coach yourself, you can coach anyone else, right?
Mhm.
And because sometimes we're more stubborn with ourselves than we are with others. And so I started doing some self assessments, and I started doing a deep dive of what is it that I am good at, what do people seek me out for, and what do I enjoy? Because I knew when I left corporate, I'm not going to just make a move just for the sake of making a move, but it had to be a strategic one.
Mhm.
So when I was able to line up those three things, that's when I knew I had gold, and I started to trust the process. It sounds cliche-ish, but you definitely have to do that, especially once you know it's something that's within you, that that's urging you and calling you. I mean, and then to the point where when I would get frustrated within corporate, I said that's because I'm not doing what I need to do to move out faster. So that was
Mhm.
my motivation. Every time I got frustrated, I revved up my to-do list and just kept checking items off. And eventually, I took the leap June 14th of 2019, and it's been a breath of fresh air. I enjoy it. And the blessing for me was that there were people waiting for me to leave. I mean, I
Mhm.
had people saying, I couldn't believe that you were in corporate. You're so involved in everything in the community and things. I had no idea you had a full-time job in corporate. And so I thought that was funny. I'm like, really?
Right. You're like, how do
But
you think I live?
right. So, and then I had others that said, I was waiting for you to leave. I know you have a family and all, and I didn't want to convince you, but I was waiting for you to make that leap because I've been waiting to work with you. So that was very
Nice.
exciting and comforting to know. So, and just doing different interviews and interacting with people, hearing people say, the world needs you.
Mm.
So that's definitely a welcoming feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. And so, with that in mind, I know that your business, you help folks with their strategic development, team building, and facilitation, and coaching and career services. So it sounds like you're a strategic mind, and you help people think strategically about what they're doing. What's the bigger impact that you hope that you can make with your clients and customers?
Well, my tagline is eliminating possibilities and achieving results. I would say, I love to let my imagination run wild, and I love challenging myself as well as others to think beyond your current realm of existence, your current realm of operation. If you're an entrepreneur, think about things that might make you a little bit scared or uncomfortable, but test yourself. I tell people, I compete with myself every single day. So challenge yourself to expand beyond your current realm of existence and your current perceived limitations. And that for me, seeing people grow beyond what they thought was impossible, it's a feeling that you can't put a dollar sign to. So
Right.
that I would say that is the deeper impact, is having people to stretch beyond their current existence.
Right. And so, in thinking about that, as entrepreneurs, we have our business offerings and the things that we offer people, but we always want to make a bigger impact on folks. Is there something that happened or a reason that you felt like, the bigger impact I can have with people is helping them realize those possibilities? Anything that kind of turned that light bulb on for you?
Um, Growing up, I've always been a listening ear for many. And I think that for me was a gift that I knew I had, was the ability to be able to listen to others genuinely, not just what they're saying, but what they're feeling. And then to be able to regurgitate that and put that in some form of something tangible for them to take action on.
Mhm.
That's the first thing. The other thing was, while being in corporate and just throughout college, when I realized I was being sought after for either my advice, my expertise, or being sought out to get things done. And so when I realized that, and and especially with mentoring and coaching, many of my mentees were older than me. They weren't always my age or younger. Many of them were older than me, and so and with many years more experience. And it's not to say that I was smarter than them by any means. It was just being able to unlock some things where there may have been some blockage, and where they, a mental block or creative block, but just being able to see them come to light, and know that regardless of where you are in life, if there's something you want to achieve, or if you want to change careers, or you want to start out on a new journey, it's not too
Um,
late.
we are in this very, very, unprecedented time where we're all, figuring out how we can continue to do our businesses. We're communicating differently. I think Zoom stock has gone up exponentially because everybody's on Zoom now. so,
Absolutely. Yes.
so, I'm here in my bedroom, doing this interview. Looks like you're outside on your porch. So we're all kind of making do. And I'm curious to know, before this all happened, what were some of your favorite things or favorite ways that you communicated with folks, and marketed yourself and just kind of built relationships with people?
My favorite way was always in person.
Yeah.
Because when people get a feel for who you are and your passion, that's contagious. It's infectious. I tell people I don't ever sell my services. I don't,
Mhm.
because I just don't believe in chasing. Chasing someone or trying to convince someone to see the value. The value is in the results and in the work. And then also, again, the passion that that person who is serving you, the value is in the passion that they have for you both to win, right? So, but my favorite way of connecting was in person. Thankfully, a lot of my business and clients came from word of mouth. Still do, but of course, you don't get comfortable, right? So, with that being said, it's just connecting with the humanness in people, because we are, yes, we're business owners and entrepreneurs, but we're human first. And so that has transitioned, of course, since COVID-19. But before all of this happened, in person was the biggest thing for me, because I feel like the more people I meet, the larger my network. And then for my clientele, the better I can serve them, because the larger their network grows by working with me as well.
Are there new approaches that you are bringing into the mix, or new ways that you're thinking about your business now that we are in this situation that we're in?
Yes. So, you know, COVID-19 came at a very, I would say, divine time for me. It's bittersweet for the world, right? But it came at a very divine time, because at the beginning of the year, my goal was already to start restructuring some things in my company. So, now, instead of trying to look for the time to slow down, we're all mandated to slow down. So for me, I'm thankful for this time. And it's not in a situation where, well, I'm going to stop and slow down and retreat and the world keeps going. It's everybody has to slow down and retreat. So it's
Mhm.
kind of like, for me, it was, like I said, it was divine timing, a little bittersweet. But so one of those things was, different service offerings as well, especially something that's tailored to what's going on in this time. But I would say, over the years, I find that during difficult times is where I thrive even better, or most. So being able to share that with other entrepreneurs and business owners, that just because the world stops doesn't mean you have to stop. And then, I'm working on more content as well to appeal to, resilience and grit,
Yeah.
because that's what this time is about. And I say that, during these times, it's time for us all to prove to ourselves, not to the world, but prove to ourselves what we're made of, and that we do have what it takes to, withstand and supersede all of these obstacles that come before us. And this is what entrepreneurship is about. So, those who are meant to continue after COVID-19 will be where they're supposed to be.
Are there any lessons that you are learning right now through just COVID-19 and everything that's going on in the world? Are there any lessons that you, think that already are going to sort of impact you beyond this pandemic?
Absolutely. The first one is slowing down. I think that's one that many of us who are entrepreneurs, whether you have a small business or a large business, we're often on autopilot a lot, and we don't listen to our bodies enough.
Mm.
But I knew the value of slowing down, but I didn't always do it. And so now, most of this time I've been spending a lot in nature, and I didn't realize how much I sacrificed. I knew I was sacrificing sleep, but I didn't realize how much until I realized, uh, 2 o'clock afternoon mandatory naps, was something that my body, it didn't matter where I was at 2 o'clock. If I had to pull over and park in front of Barnes and Nobles and
Right.
take a 15-minute cat nap, but it was mandatory. My body was just like, we're not doing this. So, yeah, spending a lot more time in nature, learning to slow down and really seriously unplugging,
Yeah.
resisting the urge to check the email, resisting the urge to respond to the social media notification immediately and things like that. So, just really unplugging to get more of that inspiration.
Hmm.
And then, I'm not one to ever get comfortable anyway, but just, always be thinking about the next move, be
Yeah.
mindful, but also still keep the bigger vision of in front of you in everything that you do. So I would say the biggest thing for me is prioritizing the whole self-care, going forward. And then, increasing my digital, expertise. I'm one that likes to learn as much as I can, but I'm also wise enough to let the experts handle and do what they're
Hmm.
better at. But this is one thing that I have enjoyed being able to learn a new skill, and learning even more deeper inner workings of the social media realm. So
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I will let you go and enjoy the sunshine. And thank you so much for spending a little bit of your morning with me here. And I know we'll be seeing a lot more of each other online and hopefully in person soon. Um,
absolutely.
but take care and keep thriving in your business.
Likewise, thank you so much, Courtney, and have a joyful day.